Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nutra Narratives podcast. I want to thank all of you for being there, being a listener and supporter of the Nutra Narratives podcast. I have absolutely appreciated it so very much. I just want to inform all of you that for the time being, this summer, I will go ahead and take a break from doing recordings, but I promise you that I will be back by the fall to resume with more new episodes for the Nutri Narratives podcast. And in the meantime, I wouldn't mind if you would send me names of dietitians who you would like for me to interview or have a conversation with. If you want to hear the narratives of either current dietetic students or dietitians, just let me know. Just send me an email at ggnovalrd@gmail.com. And also, if you have any topics that you would like me to cover with guests or even by myself, I would love to be able to deliver that for you. So, in the meantime, I will be looking out for your emails, and you might be wondering why I am taking a break. I'm just taking these few months off for professional development. I am learning some other skills so that I can serve all of you much better. So that's what I will be doing. And I wish I could just keep going and doing it all, but I also have to practice what I preach in setting my boundaries because I know that God wants us to serve him in a way that we don't end up feeling burnt out, nor would we want him, nor would he want us, sorry, to serve him in a way that we are exhausting ourselves to the point where it's affecting our health, our gut health, and then it affects other chronic diseases from coming on or to come on. So that's why I'm going to be doing that, but I'll still be busy. I just will take a break from it, but I promise to come back. And in the meantime, I would love for you to share your suggestions and ideas for what you want to see in the future. However, there is a short topic that I do want to address here with all of you today. Many people reach out to me and they say, okay, well, I started having these symptoms, hormonal symptoms, or I'm beginning to have these other issues. And I see you and hear you talking about restoring your gut health. So, what are some simple tips you can give to me? So, I hear that a lot, or I'll hear, where does a person start with taking care of their gut health? Okay, so let me share that with you right here because this is the area that I absolutely love helping people with. So, here is a framework that I use in helping people, and I put it into an acronym: BETTER, BETTER. And let me go over each one of those pillars represented by the letters. So B represents breathe deeply through the stress. We can't get rid of stress. However, we can manage how we deal with stress. And one of the ways that we can manage our stress is to take a few moments throughout the day and take a slow, deep breath in through our nose, hold for a moment, and then slowly exhale out of our nose. And the exhale must be much longer or longer, simply longer than our inhale. This puts us into a parasympathetic state, which is turned on by our vagus nerve, which is behind our ear. And most of the time, we are in a sympathetic state where it is mostly fight and flight, and our cortisol levels are high, it keeps going. We do want it to be up at certain times of the day, our cortisol, because that gives us energy, but it shouldn't be high constantly throughout the day. We need it to come down by evening so that melatonin hormones can increase and we can sleep well. Otherwise, if cortisol levels are high constantly, that can affect the lining of our gut. The lining of our gut has all of these cells that are supposed to be tightly beside each other. But stress that is uncontrolled, which then produces cortisol levels, will make these cells separate from each other. And then what is going through our gut, like toxins and undigested food, that will leak or escape through the cells that have separated, or the cells that have become permeable. And then those toxins and the undigested food can escape into the bloodstream and causing chronic inflammation, leading to all of these diseases, whether it be autoimmune diseases or even cancers. So, taking that time to breathe deeply a few times a day, that will be very helpful. And while you are taking those deep breaths, if you have a little bit more time, you can listen to music that makes you feel relaxed, because that will also put you in that parasympathetic state. Parasympathetic state. All right. So breathe deeply through the stress daily throughout the day. Some people like to do it in one fell swoop of 10 to 15 minutes. And that works for some people. And for some people, it doesn't work. Or some people just don't want to take the time to just sit and breathe deeply. So do whatever works for you. Breathe deeply when you wake up in the morning while you are still in bed. Do 3 in a row. Take 3 deep breaths when you're washing the dishes, while you're getting ready for work, while you're driving. There are all of these different scenarios in which you can take those 3 deep breaths. All right, let's move on to E. E stands for enjoy moving it. Yes, engage in physical activity, exercise, workouts that makes you feel good as much as possible. Let it be something that doesn't make you feel like, I have to work out. I have to exercise, because that makes it not fun for you and you end up not looking forward to doing it. And when it comes to working out and exercising, you want to do it in moderate amounts. If you over exercise, we run into repercussions. And if you under exercise, you run into repercussions. So you need to work out or exercise regularly in order to shift your gut into a much better balance of the gut. Our gut is a community that has many different bacteria, whether it be desirable or undesirable. And it also has viruses and parasites and worms, things like that. So we want our gut to contain more of our good microorganisms, good bacteria, and less of the pathogenic or undesirable bugs down there. And exercising regularly, but not excessively, will actually push it more into that state of balance, which we call eubiosis. And if it goes out of balance and it's more pathogenic bacteria than good, or less good bacteria, then that is called dysbiosis. So movement helps with that, but excessive movement will actually put you in a longer and a higher state of stress, and then physical stress. And then that can also increase cortisol levels, affecting the lining of your gut. And moving on to the first T of our word better. The first T stands for trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not in your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. When we pray, when we talk to him, and we just let go and let God take over our concerns, that also helps bring down our stress levels. That also helps bring us more into that parasympathetic state. Okay, let's move on to the second T, which is tune out toxins. Of course, toxins, they are all around us. Toxicants and toxins, they're all around us, whether they be chemicals that are man made or the toxins that are naturally found all around us. We really can't avoid toxins in general, but where you can, do it. So that means as often as possible, try to get organic. I know it's pricey. So just get it when you can. And don't freak out though, or feel bad if it is not organic at other times, because then that will create stress on your body. And that is not helpful at all. So the other thing that you can do is when you store your food at home, make sure it is in glass as much as possible. We want to avoid, whenever we can, bisphenol A. And that is a toxin that is an endocrine disruptor that is found in plastic and in cans. But the good news is that many food manufacturers now are selling food items in cans that are BPA free, or now they are selling plastic that is BPA free. So look for those. And when you're cooking food items, your cookware can impart toxins into the food that you are preparing. So I would highly suggest sticking to stainless steel or cast iron. All other cookware are actually causing you to have toxins in your food, because all the other cookware like aluminum, ceramic, copper, they put in those excess amounts of toxins into your food, and that can cause issues. So look there. I can talk about other areas in which we can minimize the toxins, but it's a long list. But let's just start right there. And when it comes to the second E, that stands for I was going to say enjoy moving it again. That was the first one. The second E is eat well. Eating well is different for everybody. So the general recommendations for the general public doesn't really work out for the best for everyone. But one thing you can do now is definitely increase your intake of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans, and legumes, because the more we increase the different amounts or the different types, of different plant-based food items that you consume within a week, if you could get to 30 different plant-based food items within a week, that increases the number of different types of good bacteria in our gut. I know some of you might be thinking, oh, but I'm so used to having a certain type of breakfast or a certain type of lunch or a dinner, and I could just eat that over and over again. Well, the thing is, if we are just limiting ourselves to those foods, then we are not allowing the diversity of our good bacteria to multiply and to flourish. So keep that in mind. But it's always a good idea to work with a registered dietitian in diving deeply into what works best for you for your nutrition plan. Okay. The R in better stands for rest regularly. And I love to say think 7. So get at least 7 or more hours of sleep every night. But not only is it about numbers, but it's the quality of sleep. And so, one of the practices to do in order to get good quality sleep is to not eat late at night, but to eat earlier in the evening so that it does give your digestive system a chance to do its job early enough so that by the time you get to bed and go to sleep, your digestive system is also resting along with you. Otherwise, it's going to keep churning and turning while you're sleeping, and you're not getting really well rested. So, that's one of the things that you could do to get better sleep. The other thing is to power down all electronic devices an hour and a half to 2 hours. 2 hours is even better before you go to bed because all of that blue light just suppresses our own melatonin levels. And we need those melatonin levels to increase by the time we go to bed. But if you're on the computer or on your phone, looking at your phone all the time until it's time to go to bed, it doesn't allow your own melatonin levels to rise. It keeps the cortisol levels going at a higher level. And then what you could do too at home is to dim the lights so that your body knows it is time to go to bed. I'm getting ready for bed. And another thing too is to have a lamp in your bedroom that has a light bulb that can change to different colors. And as you're getting ready for bed, you could change it to red. And there are studies that say that when you turn your light to red before going to bed, it does allow your body to produce more melatonin right before hitting the sack. Okay, so you know how I like to say think 7. I also like to say think 7, so rest every seventh day, in addition to getting at least 7 hours of sleep. And in the Bible, in Genesis 2, it says that God rested on the seventh day and he made it holy. And so let's follow his example and rest every seventh day because that will give us a chance to just disconnect from our daily routine and just even focus more on God, our family, and friends. What a difference that will make. So, restoring your gut isn't just about what you eat and increasing the variety of plant based food items, but it is also our lifestyle practices as well that can enhance our gut health or it can break our gut health. So I hope you found that helpful. Okay, so if any of you ladies are wanting to work on your hormonal health by way of your gut health, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can contact me at my website, giginoval.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on the Nutra Narratives podcast. And remember, I will be back in the fall in September. Until then, remember to eat well in order to live well.